Okay, today I'm fixing my what I thought was my dead Roland A90 controller in the studio. And a few days ago, I was doing some stuff in the basement, and I looked at the controller, which I had propped up against the wall, and I thought, I'm going to plug it in and see if it still works. The reason why I decommissioned it from the studio was that it was showing garbled characters on its display screen, and it wouldn't clear up even if I turned it on and turned it off. And I thought, well, its brain was dead, right? So I'm going to have to decommission it, probably try to sell it off for parts. And that was maybe a couple of years ago now. I've been using a CME VX80 controller, mainly because it has 4 MIDI outputs, just like the Roland A90 and the other A series keyboards controllers. I never liked the CME because its action is so heavy, and so I can't do quick passages, and it can get tiring just playing the thing, and it's just not great. So, but the Roland, which I've used for a good maybe 12 plus years, and it's had its problems, mainly the counterbalance, the counterweight action on there breaks a lot, but I've learned to fix them. Anyway, when I turned on the Roland, the A90, a few days ago, I turned it on, it booted up. The screen did not show garbage. It actually booted up properly, and it showed like clean characters on there, and then all it said was just replace the battery in the memory for the memory. And I thought, well, did I just need to let it rest? Whatever. So I said, okay, well, I'm gonna replace the battery and get it back into commission in the studio, because it was the better controller of that, or the CME VX80. And so today is Fix the Roland A90 day, and so I've got it here, a whole bunch of screws in the bottom. There's that many screws that have to be removed from the bottom in order to open the case up to access the keyboard and also the motherboard. And here's the main motherboard, and there's the 2032 that I just replaced. That's the new one. Okay, so batteries replaced. While I have this open, I'm just going to show you, I did a video of this a long time ago of how I can actually get the actual keys. So there's the key. It's one of the black keys. The black keys are all the same. The white keys, there's 3 kinds. Okay, so that's nice. And then the way that it works inside is, so you have your, let's say you got your black key here, and your finger presses this, right? When you press on the key, it also pushes down on this thing, okay? And what this is, there's all of these, they're the actual counterbalance mechanism. And this is one of the white key ones, okay? So when you press down on a key, it actually pushes down on this, okay? And if you look over here, this, on this end, looks like a little dinosaur, this is a weight. There's a metal weight inside here. You see how I'm holding it here, and this is heavier than the rest of this. Okay, so when this goes down, and I release my finger off the key, so it just pushes down on this, and so by gravity, this weight will pull itself back up. So that's the spring. That's how it springs back into place. Okay, so there's kind of 2 parts to the key. Now, the problem with the Roland A90s is that in here, so this is all metal, and you'll see the counterbalance mechanism comes up and then comes down, right? If I happen to hit the key really hard, I mean, in some pieces you'll need to hit them hard, so they'll come up like this. It'll come up so fast that this part here will hit the counterbalance really hard and could crack it, right? And sometimes it just breaks to the point that it'll break right off like this. Here's a broken one part of the counterbalance, the weight. And see all the metal there? That's the weight. And the reason I pulled this out was because it was sitting underneath the counterbalance of this piece here. And so it could not go down properly. It was in fact stuck in this kind of up position, which meant the key itself was kind of stuck down. It was sitting like this, right? So that's not good. So I had to open it up. I know how to do this now. And then find that there was this broken piece in there. And then I took it out. It turned out no other counterbalances were broken. And so that was all that was in there. It begs the question that it might be from another time that I had a broken counterbalance before. But they all seem to, you notice all the keys are level, right? There's no keys that are sort of sitting low. So this was probably a spare counterbalance. That's how this works. So the way you do this is that you bring in the white key and you put it in here in the front, and then you go to the back and then you kind of snap it in. There. Yeah. So put this in first. Now that's in place, and now I'm going to snap it in here. There. See? That's level. Two black keys. I just drop it in here. It doesn't need to, there's no guide for this. And then I pop it up here. There. Snap. Open this. And then snap. Right? So that's how it came, that, when I first opened it. The way to remove it is to just go in the opposite order. So I removed this first. I put in my sort of big needle-nosed screwdrivers. I put it in sideways because I'm going to twist and open up the prongs a bit. Right? Twist, pops. It's like that. Same with the other black, the adjacent black. Twist, pop. And now I can do the white key. Twist, pop. There. Out to go. And now I can go in here and take out the counterbalances. There. So this one's a bit cracked. This one has not been fixed before. So this might eventually break. Maybe I'll see, do I have a spare of this that's already fixed? I do have a spare here. It's fixed. Maybe this is a little heavier. This one's heavier. This is the spare I had. I'm going to take out the existing one and drop in the spare. Make sure that it's all the same size. Yep. It's all the same size. Okay, so I'm going to drop this in instead. A little bigger on the nose. Bring it in. Comes in on the bottom. See that? And then there it goes. And then it falls into, there's got little arms on the side of it, and it just falls into that. There. It's in place. Okay, so that's the white key. I'm going to put that one back, starting with dropping it here outside the guide. Right, then drop down and put it up here around the little the pins, and it snap. Doesn't feel too heavy. It's a little bit heavier. Okay, I'm going to put the black keys back in, drop that in here, and snap. Other key, drop it in, snap. Here's the spare, and I probably put some glue on that at some point. I'll show you how I've glued the others in the past. See this one? Yeah. See here, this one's for a white key. You notice all the glue there? See that? Because it was cracked before, but I glued it together. I put glue as reinforcements. And that's how you fix it. And you don't have to find somebody on eBay selling these things for $12 a piece or more. Sometimes I think I've seen them for 20 each, maybe 24. Okay, so that is now fixed. I'm going to plug it in and just make sure that the screen is working. One more time. Yeah, that is garbage on the screen. I'm going to try to find a sequence to do a factory reset on there first. To do factory reset, we have to press the manual button, and then, well, I turn it on. So let's try that. Here we go. It says VXP check. I'm going to release the manual button. Init all VRM, no VEXP. I'll press enter. Okay. Complete. Ah, there we go. That is the proper screen. Okay. And then the lights are on as properly. Okay, so I'm gonna turn it on again, because maybe the, you know, when you change the battery, memory gets screwed up. So I'm going to turn it off. Here we go, click, and then I'll wait a sec, and then I'm going to turn it on. Okay, ready to turn on again. Here we go. Less garbage looking on the screen, so that's a good sign. There! That looks great. I think I have my A90 back in business. That's good news. Here's the A90. If you're wondering what that sign is, it says lava lamp. It's a reminder for me. Sticky note to turn off the lava lamp in the big isolation booth. Sometimes turn it on there when there's a client that comes and record, and then they leave and I forget about it. Anyway, great news. Yeah, I'm about to close this up, but one thing I found was that this key had a broken counterweight. I just pulled it out. Here it is. Yeah, I could hear the key rattling, so there's the broken counterweight. So I'm gonna, it's, you know, it's pretty, see that, how that's broken? It fits right into the groove, and then put it in. You can see all the cracks fit. So I'm gonna just glue around that some other time. I had a spare. So I'll put that in. Take this apart. And now, all there. Now for sure I'm gonna do it. I just spent some time. There was a whole bunch of gluey stuff stuck on these upper keys here. So I used tape to actually and smack it on there, and it finally removed. I tried wiping it with a Lysol wipe. Didn't seem to do very well. So but the tape did. Got it all cleared up. Cover back on. There. It's in now. You gotta flip it on its back. These here. Okay, and so I get on my screws. So I'll just do them by hand first to get them loosely in, and then I'll tighten them up. We're going to test it. Like, no garbage. No garbage. Was expandable, and yes. Okay, she works. Okay, now we're going to put it back into the control room. Clean up the mess first. to here.